Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on social media in Pakistan. Well, I hope and expect by the end of this session you will be able to examine and take a perspective on the status and position of social media in Pakistan. Well, my dear students, since sociolinguistics is the study of the language and society relationship, it is the study of how society has an influence and an impact on the language choices of its people. When we relate it to Pakistan, it can be of great significance and interest for those who are studying sociolinguistics or who are doing research in sociolinguistics. Social and linguistic diversity of Pakistan is of great significance. In Pakistan, both in terms of social setups, which are dependent upon the social classes, depending upon the geographical divisions, the regional divisions, divisions based on ethnicity of people, and other kinds of social factors that play a role in these social divisions, we find a lot of variety. When it comes to the language choices, almost for every group of people, for every speech community, and for every region, and for that matter, for any other variable that operates in the society, different varieties of languages and dialects are used in Pakistan. In this sense, Pakistan is very rich in social and linguistic diversity. The variety of languages that are spoken in Pakistan, at one hand, add to the what I would say the beauty of this whole mosaic of different languages and cultures, how they interact. On the other hand, of course, they create certain issues and raise certain concerns when it comes to different ideas related to them. Not only this linguistic diversity and the social diversity in itself, has various dimensions that need to be explored from sociolinguistic point of view. From the perspective of Pakistan, when we look at, this connection of social media with the country, actually, there are certain new dimensions that have emerged with the passage of time, with the availability of this social media and internet to the internet resources to the masses in the country, and with the developments in telecommunication, where the telecommunication services are available to people, and people even belonging to the very lower stratum of the society, they can have, and they do have, mobiles that they use not only for making phone calls, but also to be active on social media. So, this emergence of this sudden, I would say, surge of social media in Pakistan through this, telecommunication development in Pakistan, the overall sociolinguistic scenario of Pakistan has undergone a lot of change, and from the sociolinguistic perspective, this all needs to be explored. There is a huge, gap in the research that is conducted or carried out in these areas, and there is a need to explore the new dimensions or the new aspects of all this, particularly in terms of the influences of society, the changes in the society on the media, and vice versa. Another aspect that from the point of view of Pakistan needs to be explored in the discipline of sociolinguistics here in the local context is, the processes of globalization that have taken place. Global social media practices have influenced the social media practices in Pakistan, and it is very, very interesting, that when we look at the social media practices of Pakistanis, irrespective of being highly educated or moderately, I would say, educated, or being illiterate, because the literacy rate in Pakistan is very low. Even in that case, we find people, being active members of certain virtual communities, and we find them, following global trends of virtual media. We find them following the instances of the practices of social media that are, globally practiced. Also, a significant aspect of this is the role of urbanization that has played and that is still playing. During the last couple of decades, the shift that has taken place from villages to the cities, the processes of urbanization and the processes of industrialization, where people are no more, majority of people do not identify, I would say, themselves with the rural context, and they aspire to be identified as urbanized citizens of the state. In this context, these social media practices are considered to be signs of or symbols of modernization by these people, and they are used at multiple levels to create a kind of a social status, to move from one class of social status to the next class of social status, thus climbing up on the social ladder it is used. These social trends of using social media, they slightly vary from social class to social class, but overall the trend of the use of social media is it rising speedily in Pakistan. With reference to these social networks that are being created in Pakistan, we also need to consider, if we consider, for instance, in the multiple diversity of Pakistan, where different dialects are used in different parts of Pakistan, and different regional languages are identified, or the provincial languages are identified with provincial identities. Before this social media, the interaction, when it was limited to the physical presence of people in a social network, the situation was very different, and the social networks were comparatively very, very narrow. They were easy to define. They were definable. Whereas today the situation has changed. In this situation, people are virtually networking. Thus, people from different regions, people from different classes, people from different ethnicities within Pakistan, they are interconnected through the virtual networks, which has a huge impact on the sociolinguistic scene of Pakistan, which needs its exploration.